something like this were to keep happening, like if this were like legit not dealt with, like this would be how Karens are born.
Watch them grow, perceive, devote. This is the seed, light the show. Watch them grow.
Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your June 2020. I don't know why I was about to say 2019 reading. I am Princess India if you're new, and if you're family, welcome back, my friend. So in this area, you should see me shuffling your cards that are on my desk and whatnot or whatever. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump in. I hope you guys are doing fine. Those of you, I don't know if I'm gonna post them on YouTube or not, but I'm recording these on the 4th of June, and the full moon in Sag is tomorrow, with the lunar eclipse. So for those of you who, oh, I just realized I don't have lipstick on. For those of you, yes, I'm gonna put it on in front of you, don't you judge me. For those of you that haven't seen it, on my other channel on WokeHub, I have a whole video like talking about that. But long story short, I tried to do you guys reading yesterday, and well, I recorded buku readings yesterday, but the only three, well, the first that I did for Sag, I don't even know what that was, but that energy, I was like, I'm just gonna blame this on the eclipse. I tried to do it again. It was very specific situation that came out. I may post them, but they're up on my website for my members. I may post them over here, because it was, I even made like a whole little snap about it, because legit, those two readings are like circa 2018. It was very She-Do tarot, very much so. And my readings have evolved a lot since then. But I was like, man, this is the kind of stuff that used to come up on She-Do tarot in real life. You know what I'm saying? But I may post those over here. But the energy was just insane. But what I see for you guys today is a lot more clear than what I saw yesterday. The overall energy you guys have from the Starseed Oracle, and I'm probably gonna say this word wrong, Heritha, longing for home, homesick for the stars. I feel like that's a very Sagittarian energy, being that you guys are, you know, out there trailblazing and finding yourselves out there. It's like a citizen of the world is how I like to think of Sages. But the cards that we have for you, our central energy for the month of June, we have the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. This is challenged by the Five of Cups. Your past influence is the Lovers in the reverse. And I love this whole little dichotomy here. Your possibilities for the month going forward into July, we have the Devil in the reverse. And those of you who've been with me for some time, you guys already know my obsession with the Lovers and the Devil card. You know what I'm saying? It's the same card, two sides of the same coin. Your above energy, you have the Six of Wands, and your below energy, you have the Nine of Wands. So, and then I wanted to turn over you guys' deck. At the bottom of the deck, y'all have the Sun in the reverse. So the vibe I'm really getting for this, Sagittarius, is coming into the month of June. There's a level of burnout that you guys are experiencing. I say the Sun card is my half-hearted happiness card, but it's a level of burnout. I feel that it has a lot to do with your overall energy, where in an existential sense, it's feeling wanting or desiring a sense of homeliness. You know what I mean? If we went as far as like what the whole theme of this deck is with star seeds and things of the sort, we'd really be talking about you yearning for the ethereal realm and things of the sort. However, and this is just, you know, how I see things, all of us incarnated on the physical plane for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Because on the other side, like, everyone is all knowing, all seeing, all being. You know, it's kind of like if everybody on earth looked the same, like we had no differences. So that's something that you're very familiar with. You know what I mean? So the purpose for incarnating here is to experience that difference. But I feel that that feeling of differentness, I don't know if it's actually a word, but I feel that feeling of differentness is the source of the issue you guys have this month, because coming into June, it's coming in the month with a feeling of incongruence. I feel more or less like the sun reverse. I see that more in your external life. It's like not being happy with your job, not being happy with what you do, not being happy in friendships or relationships or so on and so forth. But the why that is the lovers in the reverse, meaning that there's a need, there's an incongruence within self, and there's a need to integrate oneself. Now, with us being in Gemini season, and I don't know if this has anything to do with the North Node being in Gemini now. It could, because it's a lot of Geminian themes, Gemini themes that are coming up in all of the readings. And it's the same energy that I found in Gemini's reading, which is that need for self-integration, because it's like having two sides of yourself and there being a part of yourself that you're neglecting, if that's making sense. So it's a need for self-acceptance and self-love, and to integrate within oneself and then integrate into, you know, your life, so to speak. Because with our central energy being the Four of Pentacles in the reverse, this is more or less you guys holding yourself. I don't even want to say holding yourself back, dude. It's being completely, totally, and utmostly blocked, right? And that's the state that you're in this month. Now, with the challenge being the Five of Cups, the reason for this, and I can even say with this is more or less a lack mentality. You know what I mean? So what I'm seeing here, if I were to take these three cards, right? The Lovers in the reverse, the Four of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Five of Cups, this is giving me a very clear picture of where Sag is coming into June, in the sense that, trying to think of how I can word this. It's like this incongruence or rejection of the self, meaning, if I put this in just strictly layman's terms, it's operating a lot in masculine energy, meaning doing, achieving, you know, being successful, taking care of your finances, you know, doing like a lot of adulting. It's doing a lot of that. However, on the other side, it's completely neglecting your proverbial inner wife, which would be your feminine energy, right? Which is your emotional world, right? So that says to me, especially with this challenge being the Five of Cups, is that there was some form of disappointment. And I mean, even looking at the Five of Cups with the Lovers in the reverse, this could legit just be a breakup. So this could be a breakup in the recent past, or this could be a breakup that happened eons ago. Well, not eons, but I mean, like, you know, a year or so ago. Or more specifically, if we look at the eclipse being tomorrow, we legit could be talking about, because I say the stuff that's kind of wrapping up with this eclipse is very much related to what occurred in November of 2019. That's all the stuff I talk about in the other video. But there's a direct correlation. A specific date would be November 26, 2019. But I say anything that happened in the month of November, leaning more towards the latter part of November. It's like a decision that was made or something that happened. And it's like that whole cycle's kind of wrapping up with this eclipse. So this could legit be a straight breakup, but or several disappointments. And I feel with this, one kind of closed off their heart space, their emotions and things of the sort, in order to self-protect, right? Because this grief was so much. However, it's cutting off your emotional space so that you can function, but it's never actually dealing with it. So now at this point, how I'm seeing it is that it's dealing with you, right? So it's a desire, more or less, to be successful in some aspect of your life, or to move forward. Like that's what you're aiming towards. But these two energies, your above and your below energy, both of these are incongruent. You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about, you know, attracting what you are, you know what I'm saying? And as a man thinketh, so is he, things of the sort. When you think about stuff like that, this is what that looks like. The state that you're in within is what manifests without. So even if there's a desire to move forward, there's an inability to, because on some level or another, it's not letting the past go. So even though a person could say, I don't care about that anymore, you know, I'm over that, like that was the past. It's like, this to me is saying that your past is still very much your present, because you're still holding on to it, because it's not allowing yourself to feel it. And I feel if there's any balls and chains or self-sabotatory behavior, it's very much intricately related to this, because it's the illusion of moving forward. Or and I feel that's where a lot of the burnout comes from, because I always tell you guys with the Four of Pentacles, we end up closing off our heart space to protect ourselves in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But the thing is that your chakra system needs to constantly be moving and functioning. So if you shut down your heart space, which is the center that connects your higher ethereal chakras and your lower human chakras, if you shut that down, eventually the whole system is going to shut down. You know what I mean? So everything's going to be disconnected. So whether it be in a physical and emotional sense, or if it's just in an energetic sense, you have two energies, with wands being energy cards. Like your conscious mind is like, this is what I'm doing. But it's like your subconscious mind is like, you know, we're in the past. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to guard against, you know, this disappointment that we experience past tense. You know what I mean? And of course, this is understandable in the event that this is a recent breakup. I get that, but this energy to me feels a lot deeper than just like a recent breakup. It's like, and I feel that like where all Sagittarius people are spiritually, I'm not even gonna have to go in depth with that, because I feel like y'all already would understand what I mean. But I see this very symbolic, especially with these two cards having shown up together, and these being mirror reflections of each other, and they're both in reverse. It's like, this is saying to me that even if this is a recent breakup that you guys just experienced, even that breakup is a mirror reflection of what's going on inside of you. Your love relationships are a reflection of what's going on inside of you, for whatever that means for your life specifically. Even if you look at it with friendships and things of the sort, it's like if you're dating people who are emotionally unavailable, on some level or another, you're emotionally unavailable with yourself. And that's what that would be. Like a person who's very fixated on the external world and achieving and doing, but you're harboring grief for something and not really coping with your emotions or processing them, that's being emotionally unavailable to yourself, right? Because you're not allowing your emotions to be accessed. You're not allowing yourself to feel them. So what's going to hover over your life, even if you cognitively want to say that you're over it, is the same grief that you're still harboring for whatever has transpired. So it's still being very much stuck into the past. And looking at you guys' overall energy is more or less partaking in escapism. And that's what I really feel that the desire to succeed or workaholic type of behaviors, it's escapism. All of that is a diversion tactic, so you don't have to deal with this. As long as you can focus on working a lot, or being there for other people, or volunteering, or whatever the case may be, you don't have to focus on all of the stuff that's going on underneath. But the thing that I feel this is coming out in the reading like this for is it's dealing with you. That's why you feel burnt out. That's why you don't feel really fulfilled and happy despite getting your finances in order and getting promotions and things of the sort, is because underneath it all, there is a part of yourself that you're neglecting. Now, moving forward, going towards July, which pretty much encapsulates all of this, with the devil being in the reverse, it's telling me two things. It's telling me, one, this is self-sabotatory behavior. If you want to know what self-sabotage is, it's this, right? You cannot run away from yourself. It's also telling me, like I said, with this overall energy, any desire to move or, to travel, whatever, a lot of that, like expansion or whatever, it's an illusion, right? Your desire to go, whatever, is really rooted in running from the self. So with Sag, and this is so fascinating to me, it's clearly showing me a mirror reflection. So it's like, because it's ignoring that all this stuff is happening inside of you, it's like and I mean, it's a beautiful thing in the bigger scheme of things, because it's like spirit helping you out in so many words. It's like everything that's happening subconsciously that you're not dealing with, what I mean by it's dealing with you is that this is what you're seeing in your experience. So relationships, romantic relationships, will look like, how you are on the inside. So if you're emotionally unavailable to yourself, suppressing your emotions, then you're going to, see that in romantic partners that you're dealing with. They're not going to care much about your emotions, you know what I mean? Or how you're running away from your emotions, or running away from this thing that's been disappointing for you, you know what I mean? And the desire to move and go out and change jobs and, feeling like that's the issue. You're not dealing with the conflict, you're running from it the same way that you're not dealing with your inner conflict, and you're running from it in your doings every day in the external world, if that's making sense. But the key is that you have an opportunity with this eclipse to finally face this and to be set free from it, because this is very much what's binding you. And it's why there's like this cyclical nature. It's like a lack mentality, and things are never really coming to fruition because it's a refusal to deal with this. So the key is to stop running. And very much like I said with Gemini, the key isn't to run away from what's uncomfortable or what triggers you. Your key to deliverance is running to it. You know what I mean? As opposed to away. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. I am going over to, and then y'all might be dealing with Leos and Capricorns and Geminis and things of the sort. But anywho, I'm going over to my website, Patreon, Vimeo, wherever it is that you watch my extendeds, to do the more specific reading, because this is just the general overall energy, but I'm gonna get into the more specific reading, looking at your themes and important people and things of the sort. So if you're about that life, follow me over there. If not, I still love your freaking face. You know what I'm saying? And I will see you guys soon and later. Deuces. It's fruitful. It can give you success. And that's whether it's in money or trying to be recognized. And I really feel like it can accelerate you forward. And it's why you decided to never open up your heart again, or never to allow yourself to be vulnerable.